Imagine for a second that your brain is a high-performance engine. It's been running now for over 6 decades, powering every memory you've made, every problem you've solved, every laugh you've shared. But here's the thing that the multi-billion-dollar supplement industry doesn't want you to realize. That engine doesn't need some exotic lab-created additive to keep running smoothly. In fact, some of the most powerful fuel you can put in it is probably sitting in your refrigerator or pantry right now, and you might be walking right past it. We've been conditioned to believe that aging and mental decline are just a package deal, that forgetting names or feeling that mental fog is just part of getting older. But groundbreaking research in neuroplasticity has blown that theory wide open. Your brain at 65, 75, or even 85 is still capable of growth, of forming new neural pathways, and repairing itself. The only question is, are you giving it the raw materials it needs to do the job? Today, we are going to look past the flashy pills and the overpriced powders. We are going to talk about 5 specific natural foods that research suggests could be your brain's best allies as you age. And I promise you, by the time we get to number 3, you might be surprised to learn that the thing you've been avoiding might actually be a secret weapon for your memory. Let's start with a food that often gets a bad rap, especially for anyone watching their cholesterol. But if you are over 65 and you have cut eggs out of your diet, specifically the yolk, you might be missing out on one of the most critical nutrients for your brain health. We're talking about choline. Your brain uses choline to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that is absolutely essential for memory and mood regulation. Think of acetylcholine as the mailman of your brain. It delivers messages between neurons. Without enough choline, those messages get lost, leading to those frustrating tip-of-the-tongue moments or struggling to focus. The yolk is where the vast majority of this nutrient lives. The white stuff is pure protein, which is great for your muscles, but the golden center is liquid gold for your mind. One large egg provides about 27% of your daily recommended intake of choline. And studies have shown that higher choline intake is linked to better cognitive performance. So if you've been tossing the yolk because of old myths, it might be time to reconsider. Your brain cells have special receptors that are just waiting for that choline to show up. When it does, you're essentially giving your memory a fighting chance. Now, let's move to something a little more vibrant. If you look at the Mediterranean diet, which is consistently ranked as one of the best for brain health, you will notice a common denominator. It's not just the olive oil or the fish, it's the deeply colored vegetables. But I want to zoom in on one in particular that most people overlook. I'm talking about beets. Yes, the humble beet. What makes this root vegetable so special for the aging brain is its effect on blood flow. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, which is just a fancy way of saying it helps relax and widen your blood vessels. Why does that matter for your brain? Because your brain, which is only about 2% of your body weight, consumes roughly 20% of your oxygen. As we age, blood flow to the brain can naturally decrease. This reduced circulation can starve brain cells of the oxygen and nutrients they need. By improving blood flow, beets help ensure that the frontal lobe, the area responsible for higher-level thinking and decision-making, gets the fuel it needs to fire on all cylinders. There's even some fascinating research suggesting that the nitrates in beet juice target the areas of the brain that degenerate most quickly as we age. So whether you roast them, grate them raw into a salad, or drink the juice, you are quite literally helping to clear the traffic jam in your circulatory system so your brain can breathe easier. This next one is going to sound almost too simple, and it might challenge the way you look at your spice rack. For decades, we were told that fat was the enemy. We created low-fat this and fat-free that, and in the process, we stripped our diets of something vital. But for your brain, one specific type of fat is non-negotiable. We are talking about omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA. And while salmon and sardines are the superstars here, there's a plant-based source that has been used in Eastern medicine for centuries that deserves a spotlight. I'm talking about flaxseeds. These tiny little powerhouses are packed with alpha-linolenic acid, which your body can convert into the DHA your brain cells need. Think of DHA as the structural scaffolding for your brain cells. It keeps the cell membranes flexible, which is crucial because it allows neurons to communicate with each other. When cell membranes get stiff, communication slows down. It's like trying to have a conversation through a thick wall versus an open window. Flax seeds also bring a ton of fiber to the table, which feeds your gut microbiome. And we now know, thanks to the gut-brain axis, that a healthy gut talks directly to a healthy brain. Sprinkle ground flaxseed on your oatmeal or in your smoothie. Just remember, you have to grind them to unlock the benefits. Otherwise, they'll just pass right through you. You are not just eating a seed, You are providing your brain with the raw material to keep its communication lines open and flexible. Now, let's talk about a beverage that has been clouded in controversy for years, but the latest science is painting a very different picture, especially for those of us concerned about cognitive decline. We are talking about coffee. But it's not just about the caffeine jolt, it's about the entire package. Coffee is the single largest source of antioxidants in the average Western diet. For the aging brain, the combination of caffeine and antioxidants, particularly a compound called chlorogenic acid, appears to be a powerful duo. Caffeine doesn't just wake you up, it blocks adenosine, a neurotransmitter that makes you feel tired, and in doing so, it can enhance the firing of your neurons. But the antioxidants are the real long-term players. They fight against oxidative stress and inflammation, two of the primary drivers of brain aging. Large-scale studies have suggested that regular, moderate coffee consumption is associated with a significantly lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's. Some researchers believe that the bioactive compounds in coffee can actually work to prevent the buildup of the toxic protein plaques that are hallmarks of these diseases. The key word here is moderate. We aren't talking about 5 giant cups of sugary, creamy lattes. We are talking about a cup or two of black coffee or with a splash of milk. It's a simple ritual that might just be doing more than getting you going in the morning. It could be protecting your neural pathways for years to come. And finally, we have arrived at number 1. This is the food that might be the most surprising of all, because it's often relegated to the dessert plate or the holiday table. I'm talking about dark chocolate. But before you go grab a milk chocolate bar, let's be very specific. We are talking about chocolate that is at least 70% cocoa. The reason is the flavonols. Cocoa flavonols are plant-derived compounds that have been shown to have a profound effect on the brain. They accumulate in the regions of the brain responsible for learning and memory, particularly the hippocampus. Once there, they stimulate neurogenesis, which is the creation of new neurons. They also improve blood flow, much like the beets we discussed earlier. But perhaps most importantly, they have been shown to improve the growth of blood vessels and neurons in parts of the brain involved in memory. In one study, participants who consumed a high flavanol cocoa drink for 3 months showed a 20% increase in blood flow to the brain and performed significantly better on memory tests. Imagine that. A little bit of dark chocolate, the kind that's rich and slightly bitter, isn't just a treat, it's a cognitive enhancer. It's a way of giving your hippocampus a gentle workout. The key, as always, is moderation. A square or two a day is enough to get the benefits without overdoing the sugar and calories. So, look back at what we have here. We have eggs, restoring your memory's messaging system. We have beets, ensuring the blood flow keeps every region online. We have flax seeds, keeping the cell walls flexible and communicative. We have coffee, clearing out the oxidative trash and protecting against plaque. And we have dark chocolate, actually encouraging the growth of new neurons. This isn't about a drastic diet overhaul. It's about strategic additions. It's about recognizing that nature has provided us with a pharmacy, and you don't need a prescription. Now, I am genuinely curious about your daily routines. Of these 5 foods, which one do you already eat regularly, and which one are you most surprised to learn is a brain booster? I want you to take a second and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you have a favorite way to prepare beets, or do you sprinkle flaxseed on something I haven't even mentioned? Your experiences and tips could help someone else in our community discover a new way to support their health. Let's get a conversation going. And if you found this information valuable, please share this video with a friend or family member who you think needs to hear this. Sometimes the simplest message shared between friends is the one that makes the biggest difference. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.